how did you become a doctor from such a struggle in the beginning?
So I think, my story of becoming a doctor is so different from most people. A lot of my friends who became doctors or worked in healthcare, they had role models in their family, or they were told like, oh, their dad or mom's a doctor, they're going to be a doctor. They had no choice. With my family, my parents basically, when we came to America, they wanted us to focus on just getting an education. But there's also that balance, between male and female roles. And so for the males, there was not like, yes, you can go to school, but, you got to get married and stuff. But for the female role, it was like the expectation was you're going to get married and have kids. And that had to supersede the pursuing very high education. So we had to navigate that a lot. I really didn't discover my passion for medicine until third year of college, when I worked in the research lab and met an MD, PhD pathologist who's passed away now. And he basically told me if he could do it all over again, he would be an MD because he could still see patients and do research. And I volunteered at hospitals. And I realized one day when I was in a neonatal intensive care unit, I was feeding babies with the help of nurses teaching me how to do that I thought about my refugee experience and how I'm actually giving the opportunity to help these babies, and seeing doctors and nurses do surgeries and feed these babies and help them through their premature stages and keeping them alive and giving their parents the chance to love their child who had a rough start. And that was me. I was me in the refugee camp. If I didn't have the nurses and doctors in the military to help save me, I wouldn't be here. And so that's really I kind of committed to medicine at that point and just pursued every way for me to get into medicine.
Wow. So you brought up this idea of maybe gender roles and that sort of thing. And you are obviously a strong, independent woman, and, you're married. So how does that work with your partner?
So my husband and I met in residency in Columbia, Missouri. It was like 2002. He also started residency same time. We were only at the same hospital for about a year, and then he had to move away to finish 3 years of residency about 3 hours away. He's Filipino, and I'm Catholic, and his mom was Catholic. His dad was like a Protestant faith. But in terms of my family, I grew up much more devout practice. I never missed a day of church on the weekends. And he was kind of like he knew God, and he prayed occasionally and had, weddings and funerals at churches. But to go to church every week and pray every morning and night, it was different. And so I have two brothers who are Catholic priests. And so when we decided that we're going to get married, it was kind of this challenge of, okay, is he going to join the church and get married, or he's going to get married and join the church? So I kind of had to navigate that a little bit. And I felt like the relationship you have with Christ is an individual relationship. You have to get to that point. If you love someone, you're going to find out how to make it work. And so we got married, and less than a year later, he got confirmed to the church because he was ready. And that's how I navigated. I feel like it's not about in like Asian culture, especially Vietnamese culture, it's very paternalistic. And so it's very like male driven and fatherly roles, very male dominated. That's just how it was. But in America, it's different, right? There's a more of a female equal kind of balance in terms of gender roles. I think my husband, being Filipino, he appreciated that female role. And we're both doctors, and we have our own accomplishments. And he used to tell me that there's only one person in a relationship that needs to be ambitious, and we already know who it is.
That's you. That's definitely you.
So he supports me because he knows that's whenever I choose to do something, like even when people tell me it's difficult, or he's like, she'll do it.
That's so amazing because me and my wife, we talk, and she'll hint, and she won't come out and say it, but she will hint at, if you want me to be the ambitious one and lead this thing, as far as, providing and going out into the world and working every day, I'll do it. You know what I mean? She'll be brave enough to do it. And she wants that. Now, I'm a business person as well. And I'm a type A as well. And we sometimes we struggle on that side of it, but that's also what brought us together. And I've said this so many times on the podcast, but we found commonality in bettering ourselves, ourselves. And that's our relationship is based on, okay, you want to get better as a person. So do I. We're going to utilize that to be the foundation of our relationship. And that has worked for us. So, but back to your story. So basically to navigate, this, you being a kind of a type A personality, a strong, independent person, you've used Catholicism and a religion as a bedrock. And then you've also used this love, because both of you have a love for medicine. Did I hear that right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So both of you have this love for medicine, and between those two things, y'all have a happy marriage. Is that right?
Yes. And June 17th, let's see, 3 days from now? Yeah, 3 days from now, we will celebrate our 17th anniversary.
All right. What a story. That is amazing. Yeah. That is so amazing.
And, like every couple, there's ups and downs, but when God's at the center of our marriage, we always go back to that and we just know we have to seek his will and that he'll get us through everything.
That's amazing. Okay. So I want to move on to your nonprofit organization, Faithful to Fitness, and kind of go into that. How did you come up with the name first off?
So I actually had written down like 4 different names, and I sat in front of a Adoration Chapel one day, and I just asked like, what should it be? And that name came up. But the reason why I named it Faithful to Fitness is that I think fitness journey, it's about, people having success and then failing, and having success and then failing. No matter what you do, whether you hire a coach, a trainer, you go on a weight loss journey on a specific diet. It doesn't matter. We're going to go through ups and downs. So being faithful to something is a commitment, right? Whether it's a relationship or a goal. So commitment is the faithful word. Fitness, even though it's a childhood obesity intervention program, but fitness involves not just physical fitness. There's a mental component. There's an emotional and spiritual component that will guide you to healthy living and overall wellness. The number 2 comes from a couple things. I feel that health and wellness and obesity intervention, especially for children, involves at least 2 components. One is the parent-child relationship or family-child. The second is doctor-patient relationship. The third is the family and the community. So if you're in a community that's surrounded by not so many healthy options, not so many, fresh fruits and farmers markets, not so many green spaces to walk and bike and things like that, that's affordable for families to join fitness programs together, that's going to affect how the community will be as far as health. And that's been shown. Like in 2011, they had a survey that showed in communities where there was lack of green space, the obesity prevalence was much higher compared to communities where there was more green space.
Wow. Okay. So when you say green space, you mean like forested area where you can hike, walk, breathe cleaner air, all that sort of stuff. Is that right?
Walking paths, biking paths. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Me and my wife, we love to hike. So